Hey there everybody, Andrew Rice here. Hey, super excited. I've just received these demos from Ping, the ever so beautiful Ping Blueprint iron and the i500 iron. I posted a video yesterday about face flex technology in irons, that trampoline effect where you really get those hot ball speeds coming off the face of an iron. Face flex, non-face flex. What I'm going to do is we're going to do a little test and we're going to see. I'll hit both of these. They're the same length, very similar when it comes to shaft, and we will see what I can get out of each of these clubs just so that you can start to understand better and perhaps make a better decision when it comes to your next set of irons. Okay, so what is the primary difference? You've heard the deal. I've got two very similar golf clubs here, the Ping Blueprint and the Ping i500. One is non-face flex technology, the other is very much face flex technology. I'm going to hit 8 shots with each club. I'm going to keep the best 6. I'm going to hit 4 with one, 4 with the other, 4 with one, 4 with the other. Keep the best 6 for each of these clubs and we'll check out the numbers. Here we go. I'm going to start with that i500. 4 shots. Off a tee, same target. We've got TrackMan running. Let's get some data. Okay, let's go with some Blueprint. I love the look of this. I actually love the look of both of these clubs, but that Blueprint is small but attractive. Back to the i500, let's give that face a wipe. We're trying to avoid flyers. That's partially why we're hitting off a tee. It also makes it a little easier for me. Here we go, i500. Not dissimilar to the i210. Get back up there. Okay, back to final 4, Blueprint. Okay, final shot. I must say that's a good little workout session, hitting 16 shots in a row like that. That felt pretty good. I hit most of them well. Let's take a look at the data. I'm going to get the 2 worst from each set out. We'll have a look at the data together. Okay, so here's the fun stuff. We've got the data. We've got our 2 golf clubs. Some interesting things. I think it's important to keep in mind that this is one person, myself, hitting these shots. It opens up the channels of discussion. It gets us thinking a little bit, but I don't believe that what I experienced with these two clubs is going to be exactly the same as what everybody else experiences. If you are interested, get out there and try it yourself. The theme, the message behind this video is, depending on what you're looking for, make sure you get the appropriate technology in your next set of irons. That's either face flex technology, or if you've got a lot of speed and you're looking for that control, that distance control in particular, let's go with something that doesn't offer face flexing technology. We've got the i500, we've got the Ping Blueprint, two different shafts. It's important to note, same length, similar shafts, not exactly the same. I'll post an image for that. And the i500 was a black dot, the Blueprint was a red dot, so 1 degree flatter on the Blueprint. Let's take a look. The blue is, as you might imagine, the Blueprint iron. The red is the i500, and you can see the difference in distance. And this is really one of the challenges that high-speed golfers are going to face when using face flex technology, is they're going to struggle to control the distance, and that's certainly what I found. The distance here ranges from 158 all the way up to 178. You can see how predictable the distance is. I think it's also important to note that my bias with the Blueprint was left, as you can tell. Distance control, good. My bias was left. Interesting in that the Blueprint was slightly flatter. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So, dynamic loft, the i500, static loft, 30.5 degrees, the Blueprint, 34 degrees. 3.5 degrees difference before we swing the club. However, this technology, and golfers will often say that they're jacking up irons by de-lofting them simply to make the ball go further. Well, and this would make sense based on the way I say it, if we simply took loft off, the ball would simply go lower. Yes, the ball speed would ramp up, but that wouldn't necessarily correlate with an increase in distance based on that lower launch. So dynamic loft with the i500, dynamic loft with the Blueprint. Very similar. Amazing how the shaft and the head relative to the shaft caused that flexing and lofting to be very, very close. Very similar there. We get to club speed, and I would expect same length, similar weight, club speed to be quite similar. Yes, I do need to get my speed ramped up. 80 miles an hour with the 500, 80 miles an hour with the Blueprint. Very similar there. Dynamic lie, this is interesting. The dynamic lie of a black dot i500, 63.8 if we look at the average there. Let's call it 64, okay, 64. The dynamic lie of the Blueprint, which was 1 degree flatter, was 64.2. I believe this is significant. This is interesting in that due to the shape of the head, due to the fact that the toe of this club is significantly closer to the shaft due to that shorter head, the amount of bowing, the amount of droop was significantly decreased, or I shouldn't say significantly, was somewhat decreased. And it just felt like, I must say this, as a golfer that uses flatter than standard irons, when I looked at the i500, I felt like I would hit it left, yet I did not. When I looked at the Blueprint, I felt like I would hit it straight, yet I felt like there was that little left-sided bias, and it's got to be something here. How that, it certainly could be the shafts, the difference in the shaft, but it just seemed to me that that i500, the face wanted to tip down, droop down a little bit, and that would open the face and cause it to stay on line for me. I don't like for my golf ball to go left, and so I would certainly consider, if looking into the Blueprints, I would look at getting something flatter than what I would normally get in some type of a bigger club-headed iron. And so I currently play the i210s. If I were to go to the Blueprints, I would go one color code, 1 degree flatter in the Blueprints than I would in my standard i210 set of irons. Just something to note. I found that was interesting. Spin rates, This is the I-500. For me, I'm typically a high smash factor, low spin loft, low spin type player just because of the way I deliver the club to the ball. I will also note that we hit all of our shots off of a tee. The ground was a little bit wet. We only cleaned the club after each of the 4 packs that we hit. We went 4 with one, 4 with the other, and then repeated that. So the club was clean there. Spin rate a little lower than I thought it would be, and quite surprisingly here, 4,800. I thought the spin rate would be quite significantly higher with the Blueprint. It was not. If anything, it was slightly lower. I did have the 2 out of the 6 that I kept were very, very low, definite flyers, and I thought that brought the spin rate down. All the well-struck shots I had with the Blueprint seemed to be in the mid-5s. All the well-struck shots of the I-500 seem to be in the low 5s spin rate-wise. So something to consider there. Definitely going to get less spin. Carry distance, this was interesting. Okay, I-500 here, we see that the average is in the mid-160s, which is somewhat high for me with a 7-iron. The problem was that dispersion. We see that range all the way from a poorly struck 158 to a well-struck, flyery, low-spinning 178. And that's the challenge. For some golfers, hey, we can deal with that little boost of extra distance. In fact, a lot of golfers I know need that extra distance. But here, a lot more predictable in the mid-1.6s. I would say if I eliminated some of those flyers, that average carry, my average carry, typically with a non-face flexing 7-iron is going to be in the 160-61 range. So interesting there. Hopefully you've got some ideas. I know that I'm curious. I love doing this kind of stuff. And I would really, really encourage everybody, if you're looking to get a new set of irons, go out there, try some different brands, try some different technology. Hopefully this little video has helped you to understand the differences between face flexing, where that ball is going to literally get trampolined up off the face, and that face that really is going to offer very little to the golf ball. The ball's going to get what you give it, and typically higher speed players are looking for control. They're looking for that predictability, and that's why you'll see most of them going with blades and non-face flex technology. I know there are many of you out there who need it. Hopefully something to think about. Thanks for watching. So one of the very important elements that I left out of our discussion is ball speed, perhaps the most important element. Ball speed, very similar club speed. In fact, with the Blueprint, I was half a mile an hour faster than I was with the I-500. What we're looking at is ball speed, 7-iron I-500. Here's ball speed, 7-iron Blueprint. Faster speed with the Blueprint, yet much slower ball speed. And that clearly indicates some of that face flexing technology, that trampoline effect where that ball is going to shoot off the club face. Okay, that's the advantage that many of you are looking for. That's the disadvantage that I suspect many higher speed golfers are looking to avoid. Hope this clears things up. I hope you find this information helpful. As a curious golf coach, I am always looking for better information to help my students play better. If I know more, I can communicate a better message to my students. I hope that you've taken something away from this. The next time you're looking for a new set of irons, you've got a better understanding of what technology is out there. If you like this video, hey, click the like button. If you feel like you've got a friend who's headed out to go and buy some new irons, please share this information with them. I'm sure you know someone who can benefit. And above all else, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel. I know you're going to enjoy it. We'll have a few laughs just like that, and hopefully I can share some good information with you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.